The other raw materials obtained by plants from soil through roots, and especially nitrogen based substances, nitrogen, phosphorus, magnesium, okay, from soil. They are actively absorbed from the soil. Okay. What is the percentage of nitrogen in the air? We saw, right? Okay, very good. 78% of nitrogen. But nitrogen gas, it is present in gaseous form. Can the plant absorb nitrogen as such? No. Even though 78% of the atmospheric air is nitrogen, the plant cannot absorb it. Okay, because it is having triple bond, N nitrogen atoms. So, very strong. So, this nitrogen gas, nitrogen should be converted into what? Inorganic form, nitrites and nitrates, NO2 minus, NO3 minus. Okay, so they should be converted into simple form, from gas form to water soluble form. This is done by bacteria in the soil. Okay, they only convert nitrogen to nitrites and nitrates. What is the name of this process? Nitrogen fixation. Okay, conversion of atmospheric nitrogen to nitrites and nitrates. The process is called what? Nitrogen fixation. Okay, it is called what? Nitrogen fixation. Okay, so that's how plant receives all its nutrients from various places. It can able to make food on its own and manage its growth and development processes. Okay, now shall we start with the heterotrophic mode of nutrition? See, the heterotrophic mode of nutrition depends upon what? How the organism is adapted to its environment and in what form the nutrition is present, the type and availability of food material, all matters a lot. Okay, in which environment the organism live, what are the factors important in heterotrophic mode of nutrition? In which environment it lives. Okay, for example, aquatic environment mean ocean, river, pond, there if the organism is living, so it has to get its own food. Only water based animals it should get. Okay, terrestrial organisms, what are called terrestrial organism? We are terrestrial organisms. We cannot swim into sea and get our food whenever we want. We cannot. Okay, we want the plant to produce seeds, fruits, vegetables, pulses, whatever, cereals. That we have to harvest, collect, whatever. Then we have to eat it. Okay, so the environment. And then the form. Form in the sense, we are multicellular organism. We get food in complex form, convert it into simple form and use. Okay, if amoeba also follows heterotrophic mode of nutrition, but amoeba is in what form? Amoeba, unicellular form. No much organs, whatever, nothing. So it can get only dissolved substances through its membrane or whatever. Very simple substances only it could be able to get. Can you understand? It has to digest outside, break down, and then get little only it can have. So the form of food, if it is water soluble, easily by its membrane it can diffuse, the food can diffuse into the amoeba. Can you agree with me? See, the amoeba is like this. Here you can see down. If it is in simple form, the food can dissolve. High concentration to low concentration, the food can dissolve, diffuse and come. Okay, but we are multicellular organism. Simple diffusion is not possible. We have to eat, digest, process. Okay, so that's very important in heterotrophic mode of nutrition, and it should be available also. The availability of food. Okay, what is available only we can have. Okay, what is, why we South Indians eat lot of rice, paddy, rice. Why? Because that is easily available here. Okay, in maybe other countries they cannot grow this much of rice, so maybe their main form of food differs. Okay, so in which environment we live, in what form the food is available, based on that only the heterotrophic mode of nutrition is determined. Okay, fine. The environment we live and the form of food which is available. The type and form of food which is available is very important in heterotrophic mode of nutrition. Solid, some organisms like different forms. Solid food and stationary. Okay, what are herbivores? What the herbivores will do? Yeah, grasses are stationary, just like the grasses cannot run, right? If the animal comes, the herbivorous animal, grasses remains as such. The animal will eat it and go. Solid and stationary. Okay, and then mobile. The prey predators. Look at the prey and predators. Predator will chase the prey. Yes or no? Like it is not stationary. The food will run. Prey, deer will run. Tiger or lion should chase it and eat it. So prey predator relationship. Okay. So very very important. And then we eat. We have some balanced diet. What do you mean by balanced diet? Balanced diet. Have you seen the food pyramid? Carbohydrates, proteins, and then vegetables, minerals, all these things. Lipids, and then vegetables and minerals. Okay, so lot of energy source, building block proteins, little lipids and little vegetable oils, all these things. We have a food pyramid. Okay, so like that, every organism in heterotrophic mode of nutrition, they have their own system of eating. Okay, they have their own system of eating, their own choice of food. Okay, like our choice is this, we know balanced diet is good for health, but animals and all other mode of nutrition, other animals do not follow, cannot able to follow the same mode of nutrition, right? So what is available, what is good for them, they follow that mode of nutrition. Hence there are different type of heterotrophic mode of nutrition. Okay, there are different type of heterotrophic mode of nutrition. Okay, so what are the heterotrophic mode of nutrition? Humans follow, majority of the animals follow this holozoic mode. Holozoic mode. What is called holozoic mode of nutrition? You know that? Holozoic mode of nutrition, saprophytic mode of nutrition, and parasitic mode of nutrition. Can you see? Parasitic mode of nutrition, holozoic, and then saprophytic. Okay, saprophytic mode of nutrition. See the difference between these three. Like, what is holozoic? That we will be discussing in detail in humans. Humanoid mode of nutrition is holozoic mode of nutrition. What steps are there in human holozoic mode of nutrition? You know that? Ingestion. What is called ingestion? Ingestion, digestion, absorption, assimilation, egestion. Can you see what are the steps in holozoic mode of nutrition? Can you see? Ingestion, digestion, absorption, assimilation, egestion. What is ingestion? Eating of food, complex substances we eat, and then digestion, breakdown into simple substances, digestion, and then from the stomach the food should be absorbed, okay, absorbed, and then distribution or assimilation. The simple substances should be circulated throughout the body. Every cell should get its food and cell should utilize it. Okay, that is called distribution, and utilization is assimilation. Okay, after usage, after using the food, it produces energy. Energy is used for carrying out all the life processes, and then the waste material is sent out from the cell. That should be collected and removed from the body. That is called egestion. Can you understand? So, ingestion to egestion, there are 5 steps. All animals which follow holozoic mode of nutrition follow this. Is it clear? First. And then, the next mode is called without killing them. What are called the saprophytes? Have you heard about this term? Saprophytes. What are called saprophytes? Dead remains. Dead remains. See, bread mold, mushroom, yeast, fungi, organisms which belong to the category kingdom fungi. If a food is spoiled, food spoiling organism basically, banana, bread, or any food material. If it is spoiled, if it is kept as such, these organisms will grow on it and have their own food. Not just our food material, any waste substances. So only dead organisms remains, they will eat. So they are called what? Saprophytic mode of nutrition, saprophytes. And next important mode is called parasites. What are called parasites? There are again the parasites are class, they harm others. Okay? There are 2 types of parasites. What are they? Endoparasites and very good, very good. I can hear you, super. Endoparasite, Kaushik, right? Is this Kaushik?
Yes, sir.
Yes, Kaushik. So, endoparasite and ectoparasite. What are called endoparasite?
Who affect internally?
Yeah. They enter into our body. They stay in our internal organs, maybe in the stomach or any part of our digestive system or anywhere. Okay? And they live, of course, they harm us. They are called what? Endoparasites. They are not just restricted to human beings, in any animals, in any plants, whatever. Endoparasites. What are called ectoparasites? They stay outside. Okay? They cannot enter inside, but they stay outside and they are depending on that plant, humans, animals or whatever for their nutrition. So they are called what? So examples is given here. See, plant ectoparasite called cascata. Plant ectoparasite called cascata. They may ask, give me an example of a ectoparasite of plant. Okay, they are cascata. And then animal ectoparasite, ticks, lice. In dog ticks, Have you seen a tick, a kutti fly-like organism on dog skin, cow skin, bull skin? So they are called what? Ticks. In our head you can see lice. We call it as pain, ear, dandruff. Not dandruff, that is actually again dandruff caused by fungi. Okay, dandruff caused by fungi. That fungi is an heteroparasite or ectoparasite. Ectoparasite. Fungi, no fungus. Dandruff, which it causes. Ectoparasite. Like leeches. Tapeworms. Maybe outside or inside. They can enter into our digestive tract or excretory tract. There they can grow. So, ectoparasite. So, animals follow different mode of nutrition. Heterotrophic. All these are what? Heterotrophic mode of nutrition. Okay. Now, see here we are multicellular organism. Okay. So, we follow Holozoic mode of nutrition. But what about the unicellular organism? Okay, there are here in this paragraph two examples are given. One is amoeba, unicellular organism, and the other one is paramecium, a unicellular organism. Okay, so let's discuss what mode of nutrition they actually follow. Okay, you know the structure of amoeba. What is amoeba? Unicellular, eukaryotic animal, means organism. Protista, it comes under protista. Unicellular, eukaryotic organism. Heterotrophic. Unicellular, eukaryotic, heterotrophic organism. Okay, the mode of nutrition. See, some diffusion maybe through the body surfaces, food diffuses, and more than that, a method called phagocytosis. Okay, engulfment. Phagocytosis, or also called what? Engulfment. They engulf the food from outside. See, look at that. This is the structure of amoeba. This is the food material. Okay. Something called pseudopodia. What is called pseudopodia? The false feet, the false organ. See, the false organ surrounds like this. Here is the food, means the false organ surrounds it and engulfs inside the organism. The bulk food material engulfed inside, and then they are digested and utilized for its energy purpose. Okay, amoeba, unicellular, heterotrophic mode of nutrition, engulfment. And also there is another organism called paramecium. See, the special aspect of this paramecium is, see, in amoeba, either like this food can enter, either like this food can enter, or any way, any part of the body can become pseudopodia and engulf the food. But in paramecium, actually it has a structure like this. Only in definite part food can enter, not with all part of the body it can engulf the food. Of course, paramecium like this, full of cilia, body is attached with cilia, little locomotion, means attachment it possesses, so it cannot engulf food like amoeba. So there is a definite spot, through that spot only food is engulfed. Okay. So that's the difference between these two. Anyway, they engulf the food, digest internally, and utilize it. Of course, send out the waste also, egestion also they follow. Is it clear? So this is about heterotrophic mode of nutrition in different organisms. So let us sum up. What are the different mode of heterotrophic nutrition? Parasitic, saprophytic, holozoic. Okay, parasitic, saprophytic, holozoic mode of nutrition. It is there in multicellular organism as well as it is there in unicellular organism. Even in unicellular organisms, amoeba, engulfment by pseudopodia and any part of the body. But in paramecium, it is again unicellular only through a definite spot, a specific spot. Okay. So this is about mode of nutrition in other heterotrophic mode of nutrition. Now, so let's go to the human digestive system. So very common, and of course we know the importance, means the components of human digestive system. Okay, fine. What are the two important components of human digestive system? Two components are alimentary canal and associated glands. Okay, what are the two important components of human digestive system? Alimentary canal and associated glands. Okay, what is alimentary canal? Long extended tube extending from mouth to the anus. It's a tube extended from mouth to the anus. Okay, of course has different parts in it and different functions. Okay, what are the associated glands? In mouth we have salivary gland. In stomach we have gastric gland. Liver, gallbladder. Can you see here? In mouth we have digestive glands, salivary gland, and then the liver. Can you see? The liver, the gallbladder. Okay, the liver, the gallbladder, the pancreas. All these are what? Associated glands. Okay, fine. Now, look into the components and their functions. The mouth, called buccal cavity. What all the organs are present? Teeth and tongue. You know, in your higher class you study different type of teeth. You know that now itself? Yes. What are they? Canine. Yeah. How many canines? 2 canines, 1 incisors, 2 premolars, 3 molars. So 2 1 by 2 1 2 3 into 2 is called what? Our dental formula. So in our mouth, this side 2 1 2 3. Okay, like this. This is one part, this is one part, this is one part, this is one part. Okay, together we have 32 teeth. Can you understand this? Dental formula. What is the function of teeth? Yeah, incisors to bite, canine to tear, molars and premolars to grind. Okay, biting or cutting, tearing, grinding, together called mastication. Mastication. What the process is called what? Mastication. Okay, which is actually a mechanical breakdown process. Can you understand? Mechanical breakdown process. Because of that, what occurs? Food process there to generate small substances done by our teeth. Okay, fine. Also, apart from that mechanical breakdown, we have chemicals called bicatalysts called enzymes also. Enzymes will do what? Chemical breakdown. Okay, what is the main composition? Saliva is secreted in the mouth, right? What is the function? What is the composition of saliva? Salivary amylase, which broke down starch into simple sugar, and we have the mucus secreted. Okay, lysozyme, the mucus secreted, which makes the substances called what? Bolus. What is called bolus? The mouth with the teeth, mechanical breakdown, with the saliva, chemical breakdown. Together the food is digested, especially in the saliva amylase is there, so the amylase is digest starch, okay, and makes into sugars, simple sugars, disaccharide simple sugars, and it forms what? Bolus. Bolus na? In installment the food is swallowed. The food which we swallow is called what? Bolus. Okay, and it enters through the J-shaped esophagus. It enters through the J-shaped esophagus. Okay, and what is the function of this esophagus? Esophagus, swallowing. Okay, we swallow food through esophagus, and it is made up of what? Sphincter muscle. What muscle? Okay, sphincter muscle. What is called sphincter muscle? S-P-H-I-N-C-T-E-R, sphincter muscle. Okay, the sphincter muscle contracts. Listen, they creates what? Peristalsis. What it is called? Peristalsis. What is peristalsis? See, the movement is like this. It gets the food from the mouth to the stomach like this. Okay, gets the food. That is called peristalsis. That's why if you chew, automatically food enters your stomach. Okay, fine. Next, what is the next organ? Stomach. Okay, so how many hours the food stays in the stomach? At least 4 hours. Okay, stomach it stays for 4 hours. And what is there in the stomach? You have different cells, gastric glands and cells. Maybe in your higher class you study about the name of the cells, oxyntic cells. Okay, oxyntic cells. What is the cell called? Oxyntic cells. Oxyntic cells. OXYNAT. Oxyntic cells and different cells. Basically, they secrete HCl and other type of cells which secretes pepsin and renin enzymes. Okay, pepsin and renin. See, pepsin precursors. Pepsin and renin are active form, but they are produced in what form? Pepsinogen and prorenin. Okay, pepsinogen and prorenin. So in HCl only they are converted into active form. Basically there they digest the proteins into amino acids. Protein digestion by the peptin and renin. Renin especially produced in children, infants and children. They drink only milk. So milk protein casein must be digested by this renin. Okay, when you grow, in adults the amount of production of renin is reduced. We can't drink milk like children. They can drink milk in liters, but we can milk in ml, 100 ml, 200 ml, 1 cup of tea, 2 cup of tea. Okay, you can't get 1 liter of milk, but children will drink because renin is synthesized in their body. Okay, the 2 infants. Okay, fine. So mouth, esophagus, stomach. Where the food goes? Mouth to esophagus, esophagus to stomach. Okay, stomachs la, of course, the gastric glands are present, release hydrochloric acid, protein digestive enzyme called pepsin, and mucus are actually produced. What is the pH in saliva? pH in saliva is 7. In stomach it is 1 to 4. Because HCl is produced, the pH is, Kaushik, can you hear me? Can you understand? pH is
Yes, sir.
1 to 4 in stomach. Okay, fine. So look at that enzyme pepsin. Okay, it's very important. Now they will ask you one question: what is the general common effect of HCl apart from the role in digestion? What it does? Acid has corrosive property, right? Acid generally has corrosive property, tissue damage, it can damage the tissue. How the stomach is protected by the action of HCl? So along with HCl, the stomach also secretes what? Mucus. Okay, a lubricant kind of substances, mucus. So that mucus protects stomach from action of HCl. Can you understand? So HCl cannot easily, mucus, lubricant substances, வழவழன்னு இருக்கு இல்லையா நமக்கு, அதுதான். Okay, mucus, lubricants. Okay, but there is a limit, right? If you are on complete starvation, see, don't skip breakfast ella solluvaanga. Have you heard about it? Breakfast ella neenga skip panningina what problem you get? Ulcer, peptic ulcer. It is called what? Peptic ulcer. Means lot of, even mucus is secreted also. If HCl is secreted more, you get ulcer. At least what you should do, how to avoid this? At least drink, eat. Otherwise, at least drink lot of water. Don't keep your stomach empty for a longer time. At least once in an hour, drink 100 ml of water at least. 100, at least 100 ml of water. So to avoid acidity. Okay, fine. What is the capacity of the stomach? 3 liter of food. Normally, stomach can give and accommodate 3 liter of food. And how many hours the food stays in the stomach? 3 to 4 hours. 3 liter of food stays in the stomach for 4 hours. Okay, and of course, stomach is not a stationary organ, in the sense it just contracts always. A rhythmic movement is there. That's why it is like this, a wave pattern. The food is mixed well with its secretions. Okay, fine. Now again, the exit of the food from the stomach, the food enters to the stomach through sphincter muscle contraction. Similarly, the food exits to small intestine through sphincter muscle. Okay, there are sphincter muscles which can allow the food to exit through the, from the stomach to the small intestine, but not in a flow, but in a tablespoon amount, less quantity in installment. What is called installment? First 1 tablespoon of food enters into the small intestine. After few seconds another. After few seconds another. Like that, little food only can enter from stomach to the small intestine. Okay, small intestine, which is the longest part of alimentary canal. Small intestine is the longest part of alimentary canal, but it is coiled, highly coiled. Okay, it depends upon, in different animals it has different length. Okay, overall 9 meters. What is the length of human digestive tract? 9 to 12 meter it is actually. Okay, 9 meter means what? This room itself, how many meter? Maybe if you, in this way you measure, this is 1 meter. This room itself at least 4 or 5 meter. So double the amount at least, like this. Okay, the alimentary canal. Adula majority or longest portion is this small intestine. Can you understand? Fine. Okay. We have one organ called vermiform appendix. Okay. What is it? And they may ask you one question, whether all the animals will have small intestine length, same length of small intestine. No, it is not. In which animal it is long and which animal it is less in length. Herbivores eating grass need a longer small intestine, okay, for the cellulosic substances to be digested. Okay, so there they secrete lot of cellulose. Ruminants, basically ruminants. What are called ruminants? The cattle, the sheep. Okay, asai podum animal. So chewing animals, they need long part of small intestine. Okay, because to digest cellulosic substances, they eat plant acid. All plant cell wall is made up of cellulose. Okay, so that's why they need lot of cellulose to digest it, right? So they have longest part of small intestine. But look at that. The carnivores like tiger have shorter small intestine. Okay, because they do not need to digest cellulose. Okay, because they eat animal protein. Mostly tiger, they are carnivores, not herbivores. The carnivores are meat eating animals. So they need not produce, they cannot produce also cellulose. Okay, so they have shorter. Protein, carbohydrates, especially protein source, meat. Okay, and the extracellular matrix is actually made up of collagen. Okay, collagen and other protein substances, but not cellulose. Because animal cells do not have cell wall, right? Only plant cell will have cell wall. So primary component of cell wall is cellulose. Okay. And another important thing we should know about the cellulose is, means small intestine is site for complete digestion of carbohydrates, proteins and lipids. Okay, when you look into this diagram, you can see the juices from liver, the juices from bile duct, gallbladder basically, and the juices from pancreas, all are drained into the small intestine. So there only the food is completely digested. And another thing, alkaline. Okay, pancreas enzyme will act in alkaline condition only. So the bile juices gives that alkalinity. Bile juices comes from liver, gallbladder basically. Okay, and also what occurs? Emulsification of fat occurs. Okay, emulsification of fat digestion. Okay, bile juices accomplish emulsification of plant and also provides alkalinity for pancreatic enzymes. The pH is actually 7.8. What was the pH in mouth? Saliva? 7. In stomach? 1 to 4. Acidic pH. In small intestine? 7.8. Alkaline pH. Okay? So, because there only the pancreatic enzymes will act. Is it clear? Fine. Now, what is called chyme? Chyme. What is bolus? The food enters in from through the esophagus after grinding. Bolus. What is chyme? The food enters into the small intestine from stomach. Is called chyme. Okay? Important enzymes of pancreas are trypsin, Okay. And lipase. Okay. And amylase, of course, pancreatic amylase. Okay, they are the secretions of pancreas. So finally, after digestion, carbohydrates are converted into simple sugars. Proteins are converted into amino acids. Fats are converted into fatty acids and glycerol. Okay, and the result of digestion is carbohydrates are converted into glucose. Sugars, simple sugars. Fats are converted into fatty acids and glycerol. Proteins are converted into amino acids. So that's the main task of digestive system. And now, from the small intestine, food should be absorbed. Okay, absorption is the next process. Absorption occurs through villi. Okay, what are villi? The inner lining of the small intestine has numerous finger-like projections called villi. Okay, so they only are involved in the absorption process. They are supplied with blood vessels and capillaries. Okay, so through villi only the food is absorbed to the blood. Is it clear? Villi for absorption. What is the next step? Absorbed food. What is the fate of the absorbed food? It reaches blood. Absorbed food reaches blood. Blood supplies the food to the cells. Cells performs their action. That process is called what? Assimilation. And cells uses the food and gives the waste also. Waste is excreted. That is one thing. And on the other side, undigested substances, where it goes? Large intestine. Okay. So here also you have villi, but they absorb what? In large intestine, what is absorbed? Water. Okay. See, the food or the digestive substances which are present in the small intestine is very fluidy. Okay. And when it reaches the large intestine, the water is absorbed. It becomes what? Solid. The undigested food, undigested wastes are reaching the large intestine. Okay. And at the end of the large intestine, there is a bowl called what? Rectum. At the end of the large intestine, there is a bowl called what? Rectum. Rectum is having stretch receptors. What are called stretch receptor? See, once it is full, the size enlarges. So there are receptors which gets activated. And now they involve in signal transduction pathway, communication pathway with the brain. So the brain tells, your bowl is full, go for restroom. Can you understand? So that is the function of rectum, collection and signal transduction, collection of waste material and stimulating the central nervous system. I'm full. And now anal sphincter. Yes, if it is full, you have to push and the waste is excreted out through anus. There we have anal sphincter. There what we have? Anal sphincter. This anal sphincter helps in the expulsion of digestive wastes. Okay, anal sphincter helps in the expulsion of the digestive wastes. Okay, fine. So this is about the digestive system. And what are called dental caries. What are called dental caries. the left out material in the mouth stays there. Microorganism uses the left out food material and they grow, causes infection in your teeth, gum, pulp, whatever, damages your teeth, cavity, it produces cavity. Sometimes if it affects the root, you have to remove your teeth also, and maybe different practices are to be done. Okay, so this is about the different parts of digestive systems and their components. Okay, so now can you able to answer these questions even without revision? First understand these questions. What are the questions asked here? Can you differentiate autotrophic mode of nutrition and heterotrophic mode of nutrition? They produce their own food. They depend on others for the food source. Autotrophic photosynthesis, photoautotroph, chemoautotroph. Simple substances and complex substances. There, from complex substances digested to simple substances. Types auto-heterotrophs means photoautotrophs, chemoautotrophs. But there heterotroph saprotrophs, holozoic mode of nutrition, parasitic mode of nutrition. Okay, fine. Examples plants and bacteria. Some bacteria, green pigment containing plants and bacteria. Heterotrophs each category holozoic na, even amoeba, human beings are holozoic mode of nutrition. Yeast, mushroom, moldella, saprotrophic maybe mode of nutrition. Food spoiling organisms in that aspect. Even yeast or in moldella, like parasitic also are there. Fine. And then parasitic mode endoparasites and ectoparasites. Okay. Examples of ectoparasite: Cascata, ticks, lice, leeches, worms, etc. So keep that in mind. Now, where do plants get their raw materials required for photosynthesis? What are the raw materials and where they get? Yeah, CO2 from air, light from air, water from through root, leaves light and carbon dioxide is absorbed, through root from water and from soil, water and nutrients are absorbed. Okay, so basic raw materials for photosynthesis. Next, what is the role of acid in our stomach? What is the acid? Hydrochloric acid is present in the stomach. What it does? Acids are secreted by oxyntic cells. Gastric glands are there which possess oxyntic cells. They secrete HCl. What it does? Forget. Pepsinogen to pepsin. They convert pepsinogen to pepsin. And then prorenin to renin. Pepsin digests protein, renin digests milk protein casein. Okay? Fine. Other digestive enzymes: amylase, salivary amylase, starch to sugars, starch digestion. Pepsin, proteins digestion. Lipase, renin, milk protein digestion. Lipase, lipids to fatty acids and glycerol. Okay? Amylase, pancreatic amylase, again carbohydrates to sugars. So like that. Peptin, trypsin, even trypsin, intestine, trypsin, protein to amino acids. Okay, what are the different enzymes and what functions they perform? That what substrate, what product that you should tell. And how is the small intestine designed to absorb digested food? Small intestine is presented with what? Microvilli. The finger-like projections, microvilli. So they provide large area, surface area for absorption of the food. Okay, and the food is absorbed to actively or passively. They are absorbed to blood. From the small intestine, they reaches the blood. From the blood, they reaches all part of the tissues. Okay, so always try to answer the book back questions. Okay, fine. So any doubt you want to ask? Anything you would like to ask? Kaushik, anything you want to ask, Kaushik? Sphincter muscle only. See, we have different type of sphincter muscle. So gastroesophageal sphincter. Okay, one type of sphincter is called what? Gastroesophageal sphincter. See, they contract and help in swallowing. Okay, if you chew, it helps in swallow. There are pyloric sphincter which helps in transfer of food from stomach to small intestine. Anal sphincter which helps in expulsion of the feces matter. Okay, so that's about types of sphincter and their specific functions in digestive system. Okay, so can I ask you some questions? What are the 5 steps in Holozoic mode of nutrition?
Injection, digestion,
Very
absorption,
good.
assimilation.
Very good. Okay. What mode of nutrition does amoeba use? Engulfment, phagocytosis. How? Through false feet. Pseudo means false feet, false organ. Okay? Fine. In what way amoeba and paramecium are different in engulfment of food? A definite, a specific spot. Okay? Very good. What are endoparasites and what are ectoparasites? It stays outside the body and gets their food. What is the difference between parasite and saprophyte? Parasites are also there, saprophytes also there. What is the difference between these two organisms? Both requires host. Okay, saprophytes also requires host maybe. They can feed on though they live on dead materials. But these parasites require host. We are the host, for example. But they harm us. Saprophytes do not harm the host. Parasite will harm the host. They are harmful to the host. Parasites are harmful to the host. See, if a virus enters into your body, you get viral infection, viral fever. Bacteria enters into your body, you get bacterial infection. Can you understand? So, this parasitic organism like bacteria, viruses and multicellular organism can harm the host. Maybe plant viruses harms plant, animal viruses harms animals, human viruses specifically harms humans. Is it clear? So, parasites can harm. Okay? Do you know in your body where and all parasites are present? Endo and ectoparasites in your body. Where endocytes and endoparasites and exoparasite can live? A common man sense, not a technical question, just a common man. See, listen, dandruff, an ectoparasite, a fungi. Fungi only causes dandruff. You feel itching, right? Dandruff anchina, you feel itching. Causes hair loss, bad odor. Okay, sometimes inflammation. Okay, and ectoparasite. And you get fungal infections, skin infections, alright? Bacterial, fungal infections, skin infections, staphylococcus infections. There are one bacteria called MRSA, it can eat, it is called actually skin eating bacteria. For some people it eats the skin, especially diabetic people. Have you seen diabetic wound? The immune system is less. If they get little injury also, the ectoparasites will eat the skin. So slowly they will lose their life. They enter into the blood, all part of the body. They can be dangerous. They will die. Otherwise, what they will do? Diabetic wounds. If they have wound on the leg, they cut and remove the leg itself. They remove the organ. So such harmful ectoparasites are there. Okay, endoparasites. Endoparasites. The bacteria. Corona is an endoparasite. Corona. We are afraid of it. Okay, one side you are afraid of it, one side you are enjoying. So, endoparasite. It enters in your system, respiratory system, affects breathing. Okay, virus, endoparasites. BR. And of course, adanalla bacteria, virus nale dangerous nu nenikka venam. We eat bacteria for good purpose. You know that? We eat also bacteria. We are heterotrophs, right? We eat everything. We eat plants, we eat animals, we eat bacteria, right? Subtricking law, bacteria. Your curd is bacteria. Curd, lactobacillus. In bread making, bacteria is involved. In wine making, bacteria is involved. Okay, brevis yeast, baker's yeast, organisms and their products. There are probiotic ice creams. See, when the bacteria, pathogens causes disease, they are called pathogens. If they are useful, you use them as food, they are called probiotics. Probiotics. Okay, of course the bacteria, the parasite, it can be parasitic. Sometimes it can be beneficial also. Okay, anyway, so with this we will stop today's class. In the next class we will continue with, maybe tomorrow, right? We will continue with the respiration in plants and humans. Okay, so thanks for your patience, your cooperation. Thank you so much.